Hello, everybody. Finally, I get to review this movie because I finally saw it last night. Yeah, I know. Sorry, this review's a bit late, but no, not like you guys care. Yeah, this review is on Dune Part 2. So, the plot of this movie is after the events of the first movie, Paul meets Chani, played by Zendaya, who was the girl from his visions in the first movie, and they form together and they form some sort of relationship, and they both seek revenge on conspirators who destroyed Paul's family, the Atreides family. So Paul goes with Chani to find the other Fremen people and to defeat House Harkonnen as revenge for Paul and stopping them from controlling the spice, because after they obtained it, they're trying to harvest it and become all more powerful. So they all form together and form an ambush to stop House Harkonnen to by from overtaking the spice, like I said, and they all have a big battle throughout the desert, and they all go in on this big voyage and have a huge adventure along the way while everyone tries to survive, just like the first movie. They try to fight for survival to get survival, I guess. Yeah, I've been really excited for this. I think this is the movie I was most excited for to see this year. This was my most anticipated movie of the year. First time in quite some time where my most anticipated one wasn't a superhero movie. Mind you, superhero movies haven't been really the best the past few years, so that's probably a good reason why. But this movie was incredible. I'd say it's probably on par with the first movie. Like, I don't think it's particularly better or not as good. I think it's probably just as good, because I think a lot of that's just the experience. Because, yeah, I know lots of people say style over substance is not a good thing, and it's not. But when people compliment the visuals of the movie, it's not a bad thing. Like, film is a visual media. So the look and scope of it really brings to the experience, and that's really what this movie felt like. I mean, the theater I saw this in last night, it wasn't the biggest theater, actually. It was fairly small, but that aside, I still thought it was great, because just the overall look of the movie, because I love this world. I love all the planets of this world. I love all the deserts and all the adventures and tunnels they go through, and just the whole deserts, they all look great when you see it on such a large view, because it looks like such an open world. So you really like to see what all these characters go through. Remind you, the characters are all still great. I like how they all try to work well together and try to obtain the spice, and they try to set aside their differences and try to stop other houses from obtaining order. It's basically like Star Wars, kind of, because I guess you could say lots of uh, space action media is influenced by Star Wars. And I mean, I think the book this was based on came before Star Wars, so maybe that's not a good comparison. But there's like a lot of those. I know people use this term loosely, but people use this term wrong. But like political, but like it's like a political science fiction film where it's about use of power and heroism in order to just work, support your people and fight for your freedom. And that's definitely a lot what you get here. And you see a bunch of people trying to take the fight, because as we all know, in the first movie, the spice is a drug that extends your life. So they're trying to fight for it. They're trying to risk their life for, like I said, obtaining life. Like, because you never know. That kind of what makes it scary. Like, oh, are these people gonna die? Are they not gonna be able to have a longer life? Like, who knows? And yeah, you do see some like aspects of the spice being used and some of it being extracted from people. So there's definitely a lot of science fiction in it for a movie that takes place in the desert. And that's what I think makes these movies really creative. The world of Dune, it's science fiction, and because with the desert you can't really do that much. Like, being stuck in the middle of the desert, you think it's probably just a survival story. There's probably not a lot you can do, but there's a lot they can do. And even those sandworms, as you saw in the trailer, you see like all you see the Fremen people riding the sandworms while they're on their journey, and it looks awesome. Like, this is like the kind of stuff you like in those space adventure movies. Like, that's part of the reasons why people love Star Wars. Just, you see people like flying those ships and stuff and riding a bunch of creatures. Like you like to see all these weird aspects of the sci-fi genre, and they really use it to their advantage. That's why technology in films has gotten so great over the years, because you get to do crazy stuff like this, but it's not just all mindless junk. It's not just fun popcorn flick. It's also a good mess. It also has a good message about family, about how Paul like doesn't have his family, so he tries to get together with the girl he loves, while they also try to form together and try to believe in each other and uh, and build a bond together. So it really has a lot of good character development when it comes to the interactions and relationships with all the characters. So it's really a good aspect in terms of not only are the characters really developed good, but the world is developed good. And that's something I think franchises should really keep in mind, that you can keep a balance of which to focus on. Like, because worlds are still part of the experience. You can develop, all the adventures the characters go on while still giving them an arc. So, and there is lots of the returning cast is always great. Like Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya, like they're both great together. I mean, yeah, they did. I know she was a vision, as I said in the first movie, so like they kind of just had like once in a while some scenes together. But here, I think they have great chemistry together, and I really buy their relationship. And they're definitely really likable, both of them, and you want to root for them, and you can tell that they both love each other. And Javier Bardem the the other peep the Chani's father, and he was a good choice. I think Javier Bardem, he doesn't do a heck of. I mean, he's been in some stuff lately, like he did that Little Mermaid remake last year, and he was in Lyle Lyle Crocodile. So he's still got it in him for his. I don't think he's that old, but like he's still in stuff once in a while, and it was good seeing him. And Christopher Walken was great to see. Who's Austin Butler plays Harkonnen's nephew, and Austin Butler, he's also a rising star, so of course he had to be in there. And Florence Pugh, who's also all in a lot of stuff lately, so of course she had to be in this movie. Florence Pugh plays the Emperor's daughter, and the Emperor's played by Christopher Walken. So yeah, they definitely got some really good talented people to be introduced in this world, and they also have a lot of the returning cast from the first, as I said, like Dave Bautista returns and such. So there's definitely a great cast within both of these movies. So like they have people you like, so that maybe that's what makes all these characters so great, and you really want to root for them. But like I said, like even the villains are kind of interesting, like the opposing Harkonnen house. Like even though like they're villains, like they're played by such talented people, and they like look and just feel so intimidating, and they're just so weird looking, but that's what makes them so engaging. Like they're really unique, and the rivalry between everybody just makes for some fun action and a really good story. So I definitely really liked this movie. It was definitely worth the wait after have this being delayed by the writer's strike, but this movie was very good. Not only is it a good character driven film, but it's also a great theatrical experience in terms of the action and the scope and everything. Like it's such a fun film, but it's also a really good written film. Like it manages to do both at the same time. And just like the first movie, I think this will be a good Oscar contender. Like I don't know if it's going to get no, I'm pretty sure it's going to get a heck of a lot of nominations. What am I talking about? But I don't know if I haven't seen a lot of movies that came out this year, but so far this is easily my favorite one. I think it's a great film, and if you love the first one, well, obviously this is going to be a great one to check out. So it's a great film. I definitely recommend seeing it whenever you have the time. Okay, now the trailers I got Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm really excited for this one. I haven't been this excited for an MCU movie in a long time. This movie genuinely looks really fun. I mean, not a lot of superhero movies nowadays are that great. Like most of them try to have that same funny tone. Lots of them aren't really even like the comics and such. But this movie genuinely looks really fun. I mean, some of the stuff in the trailer had to be edited, obviously, because Dune Part 2 is a PG rated film. So obviously they had to edit out some of the stuff, like the pegging joke in the trailer. He actually, instead, he says, the R rating isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney, even though weirdly enough, the R rating is pretty rare in Canada. So I guess maybe they only had one green band version. And and yeah, like aside from obviously it being edited and not showing the blood, it still looks awesome. And Wolverine's my favorite Marvel character, so I'm really thankful he's gonna be on the big screen again. So I really can't wait for this. I can't believe I've been this excited for an MCU movie for in recent for in a time like this, like where superhero movies aren't that great and MCU movies coming out, and I'm actually excited for it. So I can't wait for Deadpool and Wolverine. It's probably going to be a super fun time. I got Civil War. Yeah, I got this before the Iron Claw, and it looks interesting, like kind of an apocalyptic action type film. It might be an interesting watch. I don't know if it's going to be artsy or what, but I'm sure it'll be fun. I mean, it is an A24 movie, so it's probably going to be artsy in some capacity, but I am excited for it, and I do. Well, I'm not excited for it, but I'm interested. So I'm curious to see how it'll be. I probably might check this one out. I got Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, which isn't this out this weekend? Like, man, that's kind of funny that they're still advertising it, mind you, I guess. You want to advertise something that's going to come out. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for this one. The Ghostbusters movies are always fun, and I did quite enjoy Afterlife, though. Afterlife, I might have to rewatch it because I haven't seen it since theaters, so I'll probably watch it before I go see this one. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Twisters, which I never actually saw the first Twister movie. I know it was a huge hit when it came out. I think, although a part of me thinks that it's one of those movies that really was only successful just because of the effects, because Twister was such a famous and hugely successful movie back in the day. And do you think part of it is because people thought the CGI tornadoes looked cool? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe it's actually quite good, so I probably might check it out. I mean, maybe it'll be corny, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll just check it out for the sake of it and see if I'm up for this one. I got Furiosa. Again, I still haven't seen the Mad Max movies, but I don't think I'll really need to because this is a prequel, I think. So, but it looks like it'll be fun, so I do want to check this one out. And I got Godzilla X Kong. I'm excited for this one. I didn't get to see Godzilla versus Kong in theaters, unfortunately, because I mean, for most of its theatrical run, my theaters were shut down. So, but thankfully, there's no COVID, so I can see this one easily in theaters. So I'm really excited for this one. It's gonna be like obviously it's not going to be like Dune, like where it's not going to have an amazing story and complex characters and such, and it's just going to be two monsters fighting each other. And sometimes you want dumb fun like that, so I'm excited for it. And actually, I think that's out. It's out next week, isn't it? Jeez, man, everything's coming out so fast. So yeah, Dune Part 2, it's a very good movie. Just like the first one, it has a really good story with very good characters that really have great chemistry together, and while still being entertaining and having lots of action and science fiction fantasy elements to appease casual moviegoers. So it's like the first one. It's the best of both worlds, and that's what really makes for a great experience. I didn't see it in IMAX because I don't see a lot of movies in IMAX because it's too expensive. But if you want to see it in IMAX, I'm sure this will look amazing because just the overall feel and look of the movie is just so big and it looks amazing that so if you really want to see it in IMAX, I'd say really go for it because I can imagine it'll look amazing. So yeah, Doom Part 2, what else can I say that I just haven't already said in this video? It's a fantastic movie and it's really good and definitely go see it whenever you have the time. Or I guess if I don't know. I haven't been in school in years. Our kids still. if you're still on spring break or whatever, I think this is a good one to check out. So when when whenever you have the time this week. So yeah, Dune Part 2, I thought it was very good. So bye.